Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, the Drafted Up Podcast. Today, we're going through Week 12 action. We got 13 games to go through. 14. The 14th game was on the Tuesday episode. And we got our W Energy Plays of the Week. That's Nick. I'm Theo. This is the Drafted Up Podcast. You're already watching or listening, so you know where to find the show, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. But if you haven't, subscribe wherever you listen or watch, rate, review, like, all that good stuff. Share the show with friends and family, strangers, I don't care. We appreciate the support as we try to grow this Drafted Up community. Nicholas, how are you doing today, my friend?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Jackson Dart's on the horizon of practicing fully tomorrow, hopefully. He should be good to go this week, as we'll be talking about him soon. But no, I'm hyped. You just have Jackson Dart back on the field. Like, don't get me wrong. It was nice having Winston out there. I'm glad they listened to me. We didn't have any sighting of Russell Wilson on the field, so it was a good week, even though we lost as a Giants fan. It is what it is. But
he was
let's get Jackson Dart out there.
Mr. Limited.
Mr. Fully Limited, for sure.
Yeah.
But if Jackson Dart's out there, I'm happy. He's the only thing keeping me alive this season.
Yeah. I wish I had that sort of excitement for JJ McCarthy.
I feel you. Yeah.
I still believe. I still believe in Kevin O'Connell and JJ McCarthy to make this work. But we'll see. We shall see how the season unfolds here. The only real bit of news is Joe Burrow practice in full.
Yep.
Taking first
QB1.
team quarterback reps, I think, on Sunday.
He's playing, baby.
Joe Burrow's gonna be out there for the Cincinnati Bengals, and
I agree,
it's
dude.
giving me the feels, baby. I love Joe. Joe Burrow is one of my favorite players in the league, so I hope he's healthy, first and foremost, that he's able to come back. And it's Cincinnati's in this, they gotta, pretty much win out again. This is a similar situation to last year, and they won out. It just didn't go in their favor. And no Jamar Chase. He is suspended. Maybe this is Joe being like, I'm ready to go. I got to be out there. If we want to make the playoffs, I got to be out there. If Jamar's not out there, we got to win this game. So it will be an interesting game on Sunday if it is Joe Burrow versus Drake May. Two of my favorite quarterbacks going toe-to-toe.
Very true. Yeah, I got the sleeper notification early this morning walking down one of the hallways at work. And luckily, I was just by myself in the hallway because I kind of out loud just went, yeah, Cincinnati's making the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, maybe. If anyone can do it, it's Joe Burrow.
It all just kind of seems like it's lining up because, like, Rodgers is hurt. He might not be playing. Baltimore's struggling. Lamar's hurt, and he did not look good last week. Cleveland. Shadur's starting, so obviously that's not a worry in my eyes. But it's shaping up where Cincinnati could have a legitimate chance to make a playoff run here. They just need to put together a couple wins, man.
Yeah, it should. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Tough matchup though against the 9-2 Patriots here to kickstart that run. All right, you ready to get into these W Energy Plays of the Week?
I'm ready, man.
All right, W Energy, good, clean energy. One of us is looking to get that dub this week. Nick got the dub last week as George Pickens carried his lineup to a victory, and now we're even back up.
Baby.
We're back at 5-5-1. Here's we enter Week 12. W Energy, be better. Eat that dub with W Energy. Who's eating that dub this week? Nick, you kind of foreshadowed it. Who is your quarterback?
Yes, sir. Quarterback. He's coming off concussion protocol, baby. It's Jackson Dart. If he's out there, he is a starting quarterback in fantasy, dude. He has been so good every game he started. He's the only quarterback in NFL history to have a rushing touchdown in 5 straight games, which he obviously did before he got hurt. He's had a rushing touchdown in 6 of his 7 starts. He's had a passing touchdown in 6 of his 7 starts. So, again, he is scoring so many touchdowns for the Giants offense. He is the Giants offense with Scadaboo out, Neighbors out. Our offense relies on the back of Jackson Dart. And I do think he's going to slow it down a little bit. But he has that dog in him, bro, so it's not going to slow down a whole lot. I think it's just going to be a lot more safer runs, getting out of bounds, sliding when need be, but he's still going to be running. He's still going to have a great baseline with his 40, 50 yards on the ground. Whenever Jackson Dart plays, he gets near 20 fantasy points every single game, if not more. Jackson Dart's my QB start of the week this week versus Detroit, and they have a pretty good matchup. I think they're like the 21st, 22nd ranked fantasy defense.
Yep.
So
can't run on Detroit, so you got to pass on them, and that just leans into Jackson Dart here being the offense for New York on Sunday.
Yeah, that's my one worry, because with Kafka calling the plays, his one game he called a lot of running plays, and we ran Tracy, we ran Singletary a whole bunch. But again, Jackson Dart was not out there, so the offense was completely different. What are you going to say? There you go.
I was going to say, with Green Bay, their pass defense is really good. It's a little bit easier to run on them. So Kafka might have just been trying to play to the weakness of the defense. Smart play calling on his part, potentially.
And it worked. It worked really well.
Yeah.
And I do think that had a really big part in it. And I hope he switches, man. I want to see him on the fly, just be able to switch back. Okay, we ran a whole bunch last week. Now we're playing a team where we can't run. We have to pass. So I want to see if Kafka can make that adjustment, because as an interim head coach, that's what gets you jobs in the future. Like, if a team can see you making these calls and making the right play calls, you're going to get hired somewhere, maybe with the Giants if you keep looking decent. We looked good last week. So
yeah, he's playing with house money, essentially. And
exactly.
Not only that, he could potentially take over as head coach of the Giants going into next year, or he's, coaching for an offensive coordinator, quarterback coach job next season on a new team if the Giants do decide to clear house.
Yeah.
I'm going with progressive commercial superstar Jacoby Brissett of the Arizona Cardinals. They're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. It's tough to run on the Jags. This defense, they've continued to shut down the run the majority of the season. Arizona right now, who knows what their run game looks like. Amari DiMarcado, he's not going to be out there. It looks like we're back to the Michael Carter Bam Night show. Trey Benson did practice, but I don't think he's going to be out there. So I'm going to ride Jacoby Brissett. He just set the record for most completions in an NFL game with 47 last week. He has been a quarterback one all starts this year in 6 touchdown leagues. I'm riding high. I think Jacoby Brissett, he's got a nice matchup here against the Jags. They're going to have to pass the ball. I think you could continue to ride that ride. Stay in the flames with the wily vet Jacoby Brissett here. Look what a year under Drake May did for Jacoby Brissett. It's turned him into a fantasy superstar for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. Coming off the heels of that big game last week, they're going to be passing, dude. And this offense with Brissett is a way better NFL offense, and all of the weapons are benefiting from it, dude. So I really like that pick. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we'll hear about one of those weapons a little bit later.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Who you got at running back?
Running back? I'm going Breece Hall. This might be the first time one of us have picked Breece Hall.
It is the second time I've picked Breece
But
Hall.
there was that one week, I think we all picked like a bunch of Jets and they all fucked us anyway, so it was crazy. But my words were, I will not pick another New York Jet as long as Justin Fields is the starting quarterback. That boy got benched, and it's official. Tyrod Taylor starting quarterback for the Jets this week. So give me Breece Hall. Versus Baltimore. You can run a Baltimore. I had it in a text for shoot. Let me quick pull up that text. They are the 21st ranked rush defense in fantasy. That's another good matchup. And Breece Hall is the offense. Who else is going to produce? Mason Taylor's rookie tight end. He's exactly John Mechie is their number one. They got A.D. Mitchell from Indianapolis, who is a bad looking receiver at this point. So in my eyes, the offense is going to fully go through Breece Hall, and Tyrod Taylor knows what he's doing. He knows how to run an offense. He'll dink and dunk to Breece Hall all day long. I expect Breece Hall to have 6-7 targets. Classic Breece Hall game where he's eating up receptions. And look what he did versus Cleveland. He had 21 carries, 83 yards on the ground 2 weeks ago versus Cleveland. They're one of the best run defense in football, if not the best. Last week versus New England, it was rough. I get it. He only had 50 yards on the ground. He had 0 receiving work. But Justin Fields was the quarterback. That guy's bad. He's not the problem anyway. He's not going to be a Breece Hall issue. Tyrod Taylor is going to feed the ball to Breece Hall because he is the offense. Mondo week for Breece Hall. Like when Breece Hall hits, he's super close to like the RB1, the RB2, the RB3 because of how explosive he is. I think Breece Hall is going off this week, dude.
I like that. A little bit of sidebar. We're in a pretty deep dynasty league together. I brought up John Mechie, and all my receivers are either hurt or on a bye week this week. And
Starting him.
I'm starting John Mechie, Isaiah Hodges, and Tyrell Shavers from the Bills. Those are my starting three receivers.
What
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah, what a week indeed.
What a week.
And let me tell you, I think most people would have about as much confidence in those three guys as they do my running back play of the week this week. It is Alvin Kamara of the New Orleans Saints. They're taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I have confidence in Alvin Kamara. I believe in Tyler Shuck. I believe in Kellen Moore as a play caller. Atlanta, they're going through it right now. Michael Penix is out for the year. The defense has been a little touch and go here the last couple weeks. The offense now with Kirk Cousins, we don't know what's going to happen. This team's starting to get into shambles. It is falling apart in Atlanta. What a perfect time to revive the career of Alvin Kamara. Rico Dowdle last week had a really good game against the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
I expect Kellen Moore and crew to see that and utilize Alvin Kamara in a similar way in the screen game. Let him get involved more in the passing game that he hasn't really had this year. And I think that'll get things going, open it up in the running game for him. I think this is the week that Alvin Kamara is back in the RB1 category.
That is a bold pick, but I do like it. You text me pretty early with your picks of the week today, and I always forget to get mine into you before, and I always want to get them before you get me yours, and I always forget. And I seen your name come across my phone this morning at work, and I'm like, God damn it, he got me again. And then I opened the text, and I seen Alvin Kamara, and I'm like, this guy got himself. I don't know what he's trying to do. So I don't know, dog. The Kamara pick it's bold, it's risky, but hey, man, sometimes you just got to ride and die with guys' gut feelings. And like you said, it's a good matchup on paper. A phenomenal offensive funded coach. So theoretically, Kamara should start getting rolling at some point. He's so talented. He's one of the best fantasy running backs in the last 5-10 years. So yeah, at some point, Kamara is going to have huge games.
The Alvin Kamara zone for fantasy football. Those Saints players, they show up for you in the end of the fantasy season. And I like I said, it's just a gut feeling here. I really think coming off the bye week, they're a little bit healthier. Alvin Kamara got some rest. I'm jazzed up. I think Alvin Kamara versus the Falcons is the jump start here for Alvin Kamara. And if you still have your trade deadline and he does go off this week, ship him away, because who knows if that sustains going forward.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Who you got here at wide receiver?
Wide receiver, real quick, you brought up Saints, guys. I almost went Chris Olave. I think Chris Olave is bound for a huge week, so it's not Chris Olave. But it's Steph Diggs versus Cincinnati this week. I just want pieces of New England's offense this week. I thought Travion Henderson was too obvious to go RB for RB start of the week.
That's
so
why I did not go.
I'm glad we were in that same boat. So I'm like, I'm not going to go Travion Henderson. Hint, you took the other guy that I could have taken that's coming up next after the receivers. So I just locked in Steph Diggs, dude. He's gone 7 out of the last 8 games in full point PPR, double-digit points. He's having a really sneaky, quiet year. And the last couple weeks, dude, have been crazy, dude. 11 targets. He brought in 9 for 105. 2 weeks ago, he brought in 5 for 46 and a touchdown. 3 touchdowns in 4 weeks. Steph Diggs is Drake May's number 1 option. And I get Cincinnati on paper. Like, if you look at their matchup, it's the 13th ranked fantasy defense. They're like, oh, you can't really pass on Cincinnati fantasy-wise. It's because you really don't have to. It's because Travion Henderson's about to have a mondo week on the ground, and he's going to kill it. But it doesn't matter because Cincinnati still doesn't have a defense at the end of the day. Drake May is one of the best quarterbacks in football, not just for fantasy, but real life. Steph Diggs is going to eat. Hunter Henry's going to eat. Travion Henderson's going to eat. Drake May is going to eat. Most likely another receiver, Mac Hollins, Booty, whoever plays. One of these receivers is going to have a mondo week as well. Like, I just want New England Patriots this week because they're playing Cincinnati. So I locked Steph Diggs on the heels of his third 100-yard game last week. So give me Steph Diggs, play of the week, wide receiver. Yeah. Hoping he's going to kill Cincinnati.
He's finally healthy. Like, he's coming off that ACL injury, and
so good.
We're in that time frame where like he looks fully healed from it. I like that. A little fun back about Chris Olave though. my pro comp for him was Steph Diggs. I watched him at Ohio State, like, oh, this guy's Steph Diggs. So you picked the OG version.
True.
I'm just going full frisky this week. Michael Wilson,
I know.
Arizona Cardinals wide receiver, again against the Jacksonville Jaguars. No Marvin Harrison. The Cardinals have already ruled him out. And look what Michael Wilson did last week with Jacoby Brissett at the helm as being the number one option in this passing game. Michael Wilson was the top wide receiver for fantasy football last week. Like, this is it. Like, Michael Wilson steps up when he is given the opportunity to do so. 15 for 185 last week against the San Francisco 49ers. And like I said, it's tough to run on Jacksonville. And the Cardinals running backs are injured. Marvin Harrison's already ruled out. Michael Wilson is the number one wide receiver option in the passing game. Obviously, he's the number two option behind Trey McBride. But with the amount of times Jacoby Brissett is passing the ball here, there are room for other fantasy options, and especially with Marvin Harrison out, Michael Wilson seems to be that guy. I think he is a top 15 play this week at wide receiver. Like, I would play Michael Wilson over DK Metcalf.
I mean, I have crazier, man, and I really don't want to talk about it on the podcast because we're recording, but we're in a chopped league, bro. I got Michael Wilson on waivers. And my team's deep. I'm starting CeeDee Lamb, and it's a bad matchup. As of right now, I got Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson on my bench, bro. I'm not lying. I am not lying. I have Michael Wilson in my starting lineup over Justin Jefferson this week, purely just based off opportunity. Come Sunday, I might have to switch that out, but as of right now, I'm rolling with Michael Wilson over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, stay in the fire, ride the ride. Michael Wilson, as long as Marvin Harrison's not out there, I think he is a wide receiver too at worst.
His 185, I believe, is the most yards for a receiver the whole season. I don't think any receiver has more yards than 185. He's in line to have another Mondo week, dude. Like, it's going to happen with Brissett. I like it, dude. I like it a lot. I got him in a waivers in a couple weeks, so I'm pretty happy doing that. Not gonna lie.
All right, let's round this out. Tight end plays of the week. Nick already kind of hinted at who I had. It's Hunter Henry of the New England Patriots playing.
He's gonna have such a good week
in Cincinnati. The Bengals, like you said, the Bengals, quote unquote, pass defense has been not friendly for wide receivers, and that's because the running backs take all the work, and then the tight ends absolutely destroy this defense. Darnell Washington last week was throwing Bengals players around. He was a top 10 play in full PPR. Hunter Henry, he has these spike weeks, and we haven't had one in a while, which means it's coming. It's brewing. This could be your classic Hunter Henry has 4 catches for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's tight end 1 on the week because it happens every single year. Drake May loves Hunter Henry, and the options, there's other options now. Steph Diggs is healthy. Mac Hollins is playing really good football right now. Kayshon Boutte was playing good when he was out there. We'll see if he's out there on Sunday. But regardless, Hunter Henry's still involved. Like, his floor is like 3 for 50, and that might not be the best, but with the Cincinnati Bengals, it just ups that floor even higher. The touchdowns are in play here. Hunter Henry is an incredible play. He's a great, just take your shot on a guy. It's the matchup is the best matchup you can have for tight ends. Theoretically, this should be a high-scoring game, especially if Joe Burrow is out there for the Bengals, which makes me like the Patriots passing game even more on Sunday. So I'm rolling with Hunter Henry against the Bengals.
When you said it's a good matchup, I think it's like historically the best matchup versus
the best matchup.
Yeah, for tight ends in fantasy history. Right, the Bengals are on pace to allow more points to tight ends than any defense in the history of the NFL. So they just cannot comprehend how to stop tight ends. They're bigger, they're faster than half the guys on the defense. So and like you said, Hunter Henry every year has multiple games where he's tight end 1. And then he just fizzles out because he has 2 touchdowns on 4 catches that week, and he finishes tight end 1. So, like, this is on paper one of those weeks, and it's going to happen. My tight end is not as much written on paper, but hey, he's playing Dallas, dude, who does not have a defense. So that's kind of my mindset. It's Dallas Goedert versus Dallas this week. So Dallas versus Dallas. It's in Dallas. Dallas is obviously not going to be able to produce a defense Obviously, Oakland or Vegas last week did not produce versus Dallas's defense, but every other week before that, everyone was scoring 30 points on Dallas. Philadelphia's offense is going to go out there and show out. Devontae Smith is going to have a huge week. Mark my words, he has a 60-yard plus touchdown. Dallas Goedert, most likely. It's not going to be pretty, dude. I expect 3 to 4, hopefully 5 catches, 30, 40 yards on the ground, but I'm hoping he gets that touchdown. He has that push ability where they run that fake screen to Dallas Goedert on the outside. And if that's what happens, Dallas Goedert could easily finish tight end 1, tight end 1, tight end 5. Those are his top 3 finishes on the year. So Dallas Goedert has the ability to finish as one of the top tight ends on the week just based off the offense. And the matchup is Dallas. So if I'm chasing any tight end, give me a tight end in a great not a great offense, but on a great team with a lot of weapons around him, so he's not the main focal point, versus a defense that isn't really an NFL caliber defense. So Dallas Goedert on paper should have a good week, but hey, man, it's risky. He is obviously my most risky pick out of my starts of the week, so I'm not super confident, but on paper, I love the matchup. So I just wanted some Eagles player, and I kind of thought Devontae Smith was a little bit of a cheat code.
Yeah, no, I like it. Dallas Goedert, he's just like Hunter Henry, has those weeks where he has
huge spike weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's been a hot minute since we had him. He had that nice little stretch there, and it's kind of tailed off. And yeah, they do that play that the Ravens ran with Mark Andrews, and it works to unbelievable perfection. Those are our W Energy plays of the week. One of us is looking to eat that dub. W Energy, good, clean, jitterless energy. Go to w.gg or search them up on your app store. That's WDUBBY. They got a ton of flavors. The yuzu fruit's back in stock. They got the blood orange Chainsaw Man collab. They got a new sweet and sour blue raspberry. They have another collab with Solo Leveling that have 2 flavors there, amongst other stuff. They also do other content creator tubs, and they have a non-energy line as well. So check them out. Go to w.gg or search them up in your app store, WDUBBY. Use the code DRAFTEDUP, and through the end of November, you'll get 30% off with the Drafted Up code. So use it up for a good 30% discount. That's good through the end of November. So W Energy, be better, eat that dub.
30% off, man. That's a crazy deal.
Yeah. This is the time. Holidays are coming up. Give W.
Tis the season, baby.
Yeah. All right. You ready to dive in to Week 12?
Week 12, 13 games. Let's get to it, baby.
Yeah. Starting off with your New York Football Giants. They travel to Detroit to take on the Lions. Lions are 10.5-point home favorites. Over/under set at 50.5 points. Vegas is expecting a ton of points this game, and I don't hate it. Jackson Dart, you already heard our thoughts on him. Well, Nick's thoughts. I agree with Nick. Jackson Dart is a good matchup here against the Lions. To beat Detroit, you can't run on them. You got to pass on them, so it opens up for Jackson Dart. And I think he will be the rushing attack here, as I expect Tracy and Singletary to kind of be a little touch and go here this week. I don't think you can play them with a ton of confidence. But obviously, I think if I had to play one of them, I would play Tyrone Tracy. I don't know where you lean in that matter.
Yeah, no, I would lean Tracy. He had 19 carries on the ground last week and almost had 90 yards, brought in all 4 of his targets for another 50 yards. So give me Tracy over Singletary, but I think both guys can be played in like two flex spots. Like Singletary has potential to get in the end zone. He's going to score if we're scoring rushing touchdowns. He's kind of like our David Montgomery dude.
I honestly would play both guys over either of the Titans running backs, even though there's potentially a slightly better matchup for them against Seattle. But that offense is just bad in Tennessee. That I'll just take the shot on the higher scoring Giants offense and play Singletary and Tyrone Tracy over Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears.
Yeah, no, I would agree to that for sure. I think we have a chance to score 21, 24 points, where Tennessee probably tops out at 10, 13 points.
Yeah. They're averaging 13 and a half on the year.
That's what I mean, yeah.
How do you feel about the Giants receiving crew here against Detroit? Obviously, you got to pass, so options are in play. Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaiah Hodgins. Is he a sneaky play? Like, if Darius Slayton's not out there, I kind of like it.
No, I don't. I expect Singletary to be out there or not to be out there again. So that's a big loss for our offense because he is the guy to take it off the top. But I like Wandale in full point PPR, and I think Isaiah Hodgins is a little bit sneaky. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I went out, picked him up in a couple dynasty leagues, got him in one redraft league. I'm playing him here and there because I need to. Do like you brought up, like your 3 receivers in that dynasty league are like odd names, and Isaiah Hodgins could be added to that list. Like, he could be started in the league because he could easily get 6-7 catches, 50-60 yards, and that's a good PPR showing, dude. I'll take that any day.
Would you play Isaiah Hodgins or Andre Yoshivas? Bengals, Patriots, no Jamar Chase.
Yoshivas.
Okay, I agree.
I think Yoshivas should be played in most leagues this week. This week specifically.
In a couple leagues as well. I'm just
100%. Yeah,
he's in play. Ash loves it. That's Ash's start of the week. Andre Yoshivas. Theo Johnson, he in play?
Yeah, sure. Especially with Jackson Dart, if Jackson Dart's out there, he's one of the top tight ends to get a touchdown. That's kind of how it works out.
Yeah, the four teams on bye, you're not really looking at replacing tight ends except in one. It's Arondé Gadsden. So you got the Chargers, the Commanders, the Dolphins, and the Broncos. Chances are you're not relying on those other 3 guys as your tight end one, but Gadsden, he's kind of been in that range where he might be your starting tight end. So if that's the case, I think Theo Johnson's a fine alternate, but he's not somebody I'm trying to force into my lineup. I would have him as in the 15 to 20 range. I think he'll be right outside the tight end ones.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't have him as a tight end one, but like 14 through 20. Yeah, for sure. But I'd play Kyle Pitts over him.
Yeah. And Detroit, play him. Yeah, I think Jared Goff's a fine stream option this week at quarterback. Obviously, you're playing Amon-Ra St. Brown. Obviously, you're playing Jahmyr Gibbs. I think you keep riding the fire with Jameson Williams. He has been great since Dan Campbell's kind of taken over the play calling. And really, like, the only question mark for me on Detroit is David Montgomery. Dan Campbell came out, said he wants to get him more involved, but that's like the second or third time the Lions have come out and said that this year. So he's really touchdown dependent. Like, I would lean Tyrone Tracy over him just from passing game work, but I would play Montgomery over Singletary.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd easily play Montgomery over Singletary, but the Tracy one's hard, man. I would probably take Tracy just a tiny bit over Montgomery, but I'm not going to pull hairs on that one. But now, like you said, Goff, Gibbs, Montgomery, Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, for sure. I talked about him a lot on Tuesday. I'm starting all my Lions, except obviously their tight ends. They're tight ends without Sam Laporta, just not worth playing.
Not starting Brock Wright. Would you start Brock Wright or TJ Hawkinson?
Ooh, well, that's a little harder. I guess we got to go TJ Hawkinson in that scenario.
There it is. The first time we got to start TJ Hawkinson. There it is. That'll probably be maybe the last time we talk about TJ Hawkinson today. Yeah, no, I agree. Lions, I think you just lock them in your lineups. I think they're a great place. Giants defense has pieces. They're like great pieces. A lot of players I like. They just haven't been putting it together this year. And I think Detroit wins this game. I think it'll be competitive.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. I don't know if it'll be competitive. I think it's going to be really high scoring. Like, I think Detroit could easily score over 30, and I think the Giants are going to score over 20.
Do you think you guys cover 10.5?
I think it'll be close. I think we can win. Yeah, I think it'll be 10.
Yeah, that's. I would say if you're anything under that spread or at the spread, it's competitive in my eyes. For you guys to only lose by 10, I think is a huge step for you guys against a team who has Super Bowl aspirations.
As long as Jackson Dart looks good, dude, I can all I can just keep saying about the Giants season at this point.
That's true. All right, next up, New England Patriots. They travel to Cincinnati and they take on the Bengals. Pats 5.5 point road favorites. Over under 51.5.
Crazy.
That line and that score setting tells me Joe Burrow's playing on Sunday. I think we're looking at more 8.5 if it's Joe Flacco, and the over under is probably still high, probably like 48, but over 50. 5.5 under a touchdown. I think Vegas thinks Joe Burrow is going to be out there, and I actually agree. I think Joe Burrow is playing on Sunday. We talked a lot about the Patriots. You're playing him. Drake May, I wanted to make him my play of the week, but I kind of held him in the same boat that he's just too good at this point to be in that option. You're rolling with Travion Henderson. I don't care if Ramondre's back. I don't think he's going to be this week. I haven't heard any practice reports today.
I believe Ramondre's going to be back.
You do? Okay.
He's been limited all week, but I kind of think Ramondre is going to be out there, but
yeah,
I'm not worried at the slightest. Well. I agree. Yep.
Yeah, he might take a touchdown, but I think Travion Henderson, it'll just amount, a workload his way to a great fantasy game against the juiciest matchup on the game in running backs. And Hunter Henry, sneaky play at tight end. I like that. And then I like the Patriots passing game. Stephon Diggs, lock him in your lineup. And I think Matt Collins or Kayshon Boutte, whichever one's, if Bootie's out there, I would lean Boutte. I think he'll be a full go. And if he's not out there, I would go Matt Collins, double flex. I think both those guys are good for, 10 to 15 points in full PPR.
Yeah, I would lean Boutte if Bootie's out there, but if Bootie's out, dude, Matt Collins should be started in like 2 flex spots. The last 2 weeks, he's gone double digits in full point PPR. Steph Diggs is a locked wide receiver 1-2, so he's going to have a good week. I agree, dude. I'm starting all the Patriots except Ramondre. Even if Ramondre plays, I'm not really starting him. I can't do that.
And then Bengals side, T. Higgins. Again, I would have loved to make him my play of the week, but without Jamar Chase, we know T. Higgins is in line to be a top 10 play at wide receiver. He averages like 8.5 catches per game when Jamar's not out there, and that's the case here. So T. Higgins, he's probably in the wide receiver 1 range. I think Andre Yoshivas kind of falls in that same boat, double flex even. I think he could lean into a play spot in like a single flex league. I think he kind of is teetering in that range in a high-scoring game. I think there's a good shot he scores a touchdown. When he plays out there without one of the receivers, he usually gets in the end zone. And especially if it's Joe Burrow. Joe loves Andre. I think that's really with the Bengals, passing game-wise, like, do you mess around with Noah Fant?
No, I'm not going to do that with, like you said, there's only 4 teams on bye, and only one of them are a really tight end friendly team. Font's been like fine receiving wise. He's brought like 5 for 30, 2 for 28, 3 for 40, 4 for 40, 4 for 30. So like he's going to have a decent baseline of like 5 to 8 points, but there are way better options out there. I would have started Theo Johnson over him. He's got way more touchdown upside.
He's like a poor man's Hunter Henry. He's got a good floor, but there's not a ton of upside. You really got to bank on a touchdown with Noah Fant, and maybe that happens without Jamar in the lineup. Chase Brown, you still roll with him. He's been a top 15 running back since Joe Flacco's been taken over, and if Joe Burrow's back, that's beneficial for him as well. Patriots are good against the run, but I think you'll see the dump offs. He's getting a ton of targets here the last 2 weeks. I think that trend continues, so just keep rolling with Chase Brown.
I agree. Even with Chase out, that frees up a ton of targets because he's been on pace for like close to 300. Obviously, if Joe Burrow's back, he's going to spread the ball more than Flacco did. So T. Higgins is in line for a great game. I would start Yoshivas over like any Giants receiver, over Wandale, easily over Hodgins. I think Yoshivas is in line for a really good week.
Would you start Yoshivas or Patriots number 2 receiver? I
was just about to say I would start him over any receiver that's not Steph Diggs on the Patriots side.
I agree, just because we know for sure he's the number 2. And then if Boutte is out there, it kind of muddles that situation for New England.
Yep. Totally agree.
Joe Burrow, do you play him if he's out there?
You held on to him this long. I get it.
I'm in this boat. But I'm in this boat. I have Joe Burrow in our home league.
Throw out some names.
I have Jacoby Brissett is in my lineup.
No, I would go Brissett. I think Brissett.
I also would go Brissett.
The volume of Brissett.
Daniel Jones.
Hey,
Daniel Jones showed up on the injury report today.
Yeah,
so that is concerning. I think I would go Joe Burrow over Daniel Jones.
I would go Burrow. I agree. I think this is fun. He's going to get my fantasy team to the playoffs just like he's going to get the Bengals to the playoffs, dude. That's how Joe Burrow owners are feeling right now, dude.
Caleb Williams, great matchup against Pittsburgh.
It is a good matchup. Man, that one's a little bit rough.
I'd lean Caleb.
I would lean Caleb, but I wouldn't bat an eye if you're like, I'm starting Burrow over him. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go, dude. Let's do it for the vibes.
Last one, Sam Darnold. Tennessee, great matchup.
Burrow. Burrow. Not
Okay.
even Darnold on the heels of that 4 interception game,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Bad performance.
Yeah. I think this will be a bounce back week for Seattle's offense, but I would lean Joe. I'm going to trust Joe Burrow more than I'm going to trust Sam Darnold. Who wins here?
God. I really want to pick Cincinnati, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude, but I'm picking New England.
Vibing with the Bengals. I'm doing it. Last year, the Patriots upset the Bengals, and that's the reason the Bengals pretty much missed the playoffs. Week 1, the Patriots beat them. I think the Bengals get redemption here. Week 12, Bengals win. If it's Joe Burrow, if it's Joe Flacco, I will take New England. But if Joe Burrow's out there, I just think like pandemonium in Cincinnati. I think it leads them to a victory.
I can see it. Like, I honestly want to pick Cincinnati, but I'm just gonna pick New England. I've really vibed with New England all throughout the offseason, so
I get it.
I don't know if it starts here for Cincinnati, but maybe next week versus Baltimore, man. Baltimore's been hit and miss this year, so we'll see what happens. Division games can go any way, dude, especially if Joe Burrow's out there.
I figured that would be the week Joe Burrow came back. The Thanksgiving game against Baltimore. I'm shocked that it's probably him on Sunday against the Patriots, but it's better for football with Joe Burrow out there. Speaking of Baltimore,
he's all 2 full practices, bro. So I think Burrow's going to be out there.
Yeah. New York Jets travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Ravens 13.5-point home favorites. Over under set at 44.5. I wonder what that line would be if Justin Fields was the quarterback.
Probably 13.5 or whatever the hell it is.
You don't think Tyrod makes a difference?
No, I really don't, to be honest. He does in my head, but
the next
I don't think he does for
we'll be talking
Vegas.
about are 13.5-point odds.
Let's run them. Let's just run these games quick.
The Jets are easy. It's Breece Hall and
it's one man.
Unless you're me in that deep dynasty league and are stuck starting John Mechie.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, he played 82% of snaps. He only saw 3 targets, but he housed one of them. So he's a high upside guy. And of course, it's a deep dynasty league. It's like deep leagues. You have to play who you have to play, bro. Like at the end of the day. But
regular 12-team leagues, you're really not playing any Jets that's not Breece Hall. Like I wouldn't even mess around with Mason Taylor. Even with the better upgraded quarterback, I'd still lean Hunter Henry. I would go with Colston Loveland over him. I would go with Theo Johnson over him as well. Baltimore, Lamar obviously. Mark Andrews I think is fine. Rare moment you'll hear me say that. And Zay Flowers, you're not moving on from him. He gives you a good base as a wide receiver. High end flex, low end wide receiver too.
Yeah, you love to see that Lamar along with the full practice today. He's been limited all week, but he was back today in full. So I didn't think he was going to miss the week. I think it was just kind of a precaution thing, just to rest Lamar.
He didn't practice last Wednesday either. So I assume it's exactly just that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a veteran kind of thing. He didn't need to be out there for practice.
Here?
I really don't need to go on about Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. Start all your Ravens for sure.
Well, not all of them. You're starting Bateman or Hopkins. Or Isaiah likely.
The ones that are starting. You're starting Mark Andrews. You're starting Flowers. You're starting Derrick Henry. You're starting one of each. You're starting your Ravens.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. This could be the classic Derrick Henry 200-yard game.
I would start Bateman over Mechie, bro. You want to fucking talk about sides?
Yeah, I'm only starting John Mechie because I have to. Is Bateman going to be out there? He's been hurt.
He has been hurt. I don't know.
He did not
confirm
practice on Thursday, so I would expect Bateman not to play on Sunday.
Well, then I take back my John Mechie statement. But
would you start Hopkins over John Mechie?
No, I would not. I would play Mechie over Hopkins.
All right. We're taking the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens. I don't know if you're feeling frisky now. Okay. The other 13.5-point spread here. The Seattle Seahawks travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Seahawks, like I said, 13.5-point road favorites. If this was in Seattle, this game might be 17 points.
Yep. I agree.
The over-under is 39.5. I'm not playing a single Tennessee Titan. None. If I had to play
It'd
one, it would be
be
Tajay
Tajay
Spears.
Spears. Yep,
He at least
100%.
gives me the upside to catch 5 to 6 passes and hopefully house one of them. But
Yeah,
DK's been banged
or
up. Iamanor's
he
banged
could
up.
break
No
off a
Calvin
run.
Ridley. Chigakonkwo is no good. Tony Pollard's just waiting to get out of Tennessee at this point. And then Seattle, Jackson Smith and Jigba obviously in your lineup. I think Ken Walker's in line for a big game. I think Zach Charbonnet double flex. You could put him in. Do you mess around with one of the other Seahawks receiving options, being A.J. Barn or Rashid Shaheed, Cooper Kupp?
I think you could take a shot on any one of them. I think I'm not going to hold any one above the other. I think Cooper Kupp and Shaheed are eye and eye. Like, it doesn't matter which one you play. I think both have the exact same like floor and ceiling kind of thing. And yeah, AJ Barner went off. He had 10 catches last week. So like, if you need to play a tight end, AJ Barner's probably towards the top of my guys I would like to stream this week just based off target production.
Yeah,
it's not going to be the 11 for 10 again. It's not going to happen. But he's found a touchdown multiple times this year, so he's also got high touchdown upside.
Yeah, he gives you that touchdown upside, which is what you're looking for if you got to stream a guy tight end. If I had to play any of those guys, I think I'd lean Shaheed. I think we're due for the
just based
Shaheed
off
big touchdown.
The big play.
We haven't had it the first 2 weeks here. Maybe he's just getting accustomed to the offense, even though he's sort of familiar with it with Clint Kubiak coming over from New Orleans. But I think the Seattle can kind of just open up the playbook. Bad Tennessee team, they can kind of just run plays, play free football, and just try to take some shots to Shaheed and kind of boost up Sam Darnold's confidence after throwing those 4 interceptions. I think you could stream him as well. Like, I would lean him over Daniel Jones right now just because Jones showing up on the injury report on a Thursday, tough matchup on the road against the Chiefs, worries me with him. So I think Darnold's a good pivot there if you are a Daniel Jones owner. I think there is touchdown upside, but I also like Shaheed here for at least I think I would expect him to try to hit at least 2 of them to him. Whether they pay off or not, we'll see. But I think Seattle wins this big. I think they even cover.
I agree. I think they win by at least 2 touchdowns. So Darnold scares me, dude. Like, I want to start all the weapons in this game, but this game has it like the Arizona format written all over it, where Sam Darnold's not needed. They're literally up 38, like nothing at halftime, and you're just like, what the hell even happened? Tennessee's bad, bro, and Seattle's got a good defense. Oh, yeah, that is very true.
The Cardinals gifted them that win.
Yeah, it happened. To be honest, they played Houston really hard last week. Like, they hung in there longer than they should have. It was a well fought game. They played hard, but I don't expect this game to be relatively close at all. I'm not gonna lie.
No, me either. All right, the Indianapolis Colts travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs 3.5 point home favorites. Over under set at 50.5. Where do you stand with Daniel Jones? Showing up on the injury report on a Thursday, not ideal. Usually those are like the Wednesday things. You see the guys go on the injury report and then come off, but it's a calf injury, so that kind of worries me about his mobility.
That worries me.
This feels like a game where Daniel Jones would sort of unravel on the road against a lethal Chiefs defense. So I'm kind of shying away from him and even like the Colts receivers. I don't really want to play, Alec Pierce or Josh Downs, and Michael Pittman, hard to move on from him, but I would play Michael Wilson over Michael Pittman. And obviously you're not benching Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren. I think you lock both of them in with or without Daniel Jones. You're not moving on from either of those guys.
Yeah, JT and Warren are locks every week. I'm not moving on from those guys. If I have an option out of Danny Jones, I'm going to take that option. I would start Brissett. I would start Jared Goff. I would start Jackson Dart. All of those guys over Danny Jones. I don't think I would start Darnold, though. I'm not there yet like you are. Pittman's the only receiver I'm cool playing if I had to really play one. And Pierce, you could throw into like a double flex league. He wouldn't be my solo flex if I'm in a 1 flex league. But if I'm in a double flex league, Pierce can take the top off. Would you play
Michael Wilson or Michael Pittman?
Oh, I'd play Wilson over Pittman.
Okay. Would you play other side of the ball, Xavier Worthy or Alec Pierce?
Xavier Worthy or Alec Pierce? That is a pretty disgusting question. I'd probably play Alec Pierce.
Let's say they're 2 high upside guys who they earn their upside a little differently. Where Pierce is all on deep shots, and Worthy was limited at practice today, so he might not even be out there. So I will also go Alec Pierce. The Chiefs, though, Patrick Mahomes, you still roll with him. He's been great at home for fantasy, so I think keep rolling with him. I know it's been a little touch and go here last week or two. Rashee Rice, bad week last week. Stay with him. Not worried about him. Travis Kelce, quietly at top 4 tight end in fantasy football.
He's been really producing the last a little bit, and it's been kind of it's been all right.
It's the quietest Travis Kelce good season ever. Keep rolling with him. It's really, do you trust any of the Chiefs running backs? It looks like Pacheco's going to be back, so that kind of shies me away from Kareem Hunt being relevant for fantasy. That I'm kind of I don't want any part of the backfield.
I'm not playing a single running back from Kansas City, but I'm playing Rice with confidence, Travis Kelce with confidence, Patrick Mahomes with confidence. And that's probably it. Worthy, you can put in a double flex. I wouldn't solo flex him.
Yeah, if he's out there, I don't think he ends up playing. And if he does, I think
that's
kind of out on him. It's really just those three, the big name Chiefs: Mahomes, Kelce,
and if
Rice.
If Worthy doesn't play, I'm not looking at Hollywood Brown or Juju. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'll find someone else.
I'd rather just pick up Parker Washington and roll with him.
Oh, heartbeat for sure. Yeah. I'd be starting Parker Washington over Worthy, regardless.
Yeah. Chiefs win. I'm going with the Chiefs. This is almost like a must-win game for them. Right now, they're not in the playoffs if the season ends today.
They're 5-5, dude, and I agree. I think it's gonna be a little bit of. What was the spread? I missed that.
3.5 in favor of Kansas
City. That's crazy, dude. I think it should have been 1.5. I'm not gonna lie, just based off how good Indy is, but I'm going Kansas City.
Yeah, I think Kansas City wins by a lot, even if Daniel Jones is out there.
I don't think it's gonna be a lot.
I think they double the spread, so that would be 7. I think they win by a touchdown.
Win by a tutty.
Yeah. Before we get into these other 2 1:00 games and jump to our 4:00 and primetime games, let's shout out our other affiliate over at Finley Hats. I almost said Dubby Hats. Finley Hats are built for good times and long times. Their hats, they'll replace it or repair it absolutely free if it's damaged or destroyed. They have free shipping across the U.S. They got a ton of cool designs. They drop hats every week, every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So check those out if you want to catch one of those. They also have standard in-stock hats as well that are always in stock, ready to go. They got the Stampede laces. You can interchange them. You can buy different ones. You can also change the little wooden pin on there as well. So check them out over at Finley Hatch. Join the Finley Force. Click the link in the description and get yourself a cool 15% off your first purchase. Join the Force over at Finley Hats. All right, Pittsburgh, the Steelers, division-leading Pittsburgh Steelers, travel to division-leading Chicago to take on the Bears. Bears, 2.5-point home favorite, over-under set at 45.5. Aaron Rodgers was limited today. I think he's going to do his damnedest to go out there and play because it is the Bears, and this might be the last time he ever gets to play in Chicago.
Yeah, he's going to be out there. I don't know how good that is to the team, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
I think that's detrimental to the team, and if he's out there, I'm already low on DK Metcalf. I think that lowers him down even more into a low-end flex play.
At most, I would say double flex play. With the way he's kind of been, I would definitely be trying to get out of DK Metcalf. At this point, I don't know what other teams you have, option-wise, based off of when your trade deadline is. You got to hit someone on waivers this late in season. Maybe you are able to scoop up Michael Wilson. That would be amazing.
Would you get frisky and play Christian Watson over DK Metcalf?
Oh, he's questionable right now. I don't know if he's been logging full practices yet or not. But I would probably lean Watson if he was 100% good to go, because he's been limited all week.
Yeah, he was limited today. I just think that's normal for him. He was questionable and limited in practice all last week as well, and he still was out there.
He's fine China, dude. He's very fragile.
He's always hurt. Yeah, like I think he gives you more upside. Like it's so weird to say like DK gives you a better
Way
floor.
more upside. Way
DK
more
gives you
upside.
a better floor, which is a wild thing because that's never been DK's game. A good floor guy. But yeah, I think Watson gives you more touchdown upside. If Mason Rudolph was out there, I might lean DK just because Mason Rudolph, he has no problem slinging it. We saw that last year.
He would also hyper target DK. Yeah.
Yeah. Jaylen Warren, if he is out there, you're playing him. If he is not out there, Kenneth Gainwell, lock him into your lineup. Bears kind of struggle against running backs. If Warren is out there, are you still playing Gainwell, or are you just moving him right back to your bench?
I think like, normally I would play just one of the backs for Pittsburgh, but Warren just hit practice this week on Thursday. That was his first day back at practice. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to be 100% regardless of the situation come Sunday. I think I'm kind of cool playing both these guys in like a flex spot this week. Yeah, I think both guys have a decent amount of upside.
Yeah, I don't like. I would play Gainwell over either Titans running back, even with Warren out there. I just think he gives you better. Like he gets involved in the passing game a lot. I think that's where he's going to really score. Like full PPR leagues, I think Kenneth Gainwell's a good play. Half PPR, he's a little less interesting. And I'm not messing around with any of the Steelers tight ends. Really, it's DK Metcalf if you have to put him in. If not, if you can find ways out of it, I think there's way better plays than him. Like, would you play him or Rashid Shaheed?
I'd play DK.
I agree. I would lean DK Metcalf.
I would play DK over Isaiah Hodgins, but I honest to God think Isaiah Hodgins is going to score more fantasy points this week than DK Metcalf.
Yeah, that one's a little tough to predict, and I would also lean DK, but I would inside
never
I'd just
DK.
be like, Isaiah Hodgins. I knew he was going to score, but like, it's tough to do that move. What about other side of the ball? Would you start
I personally
DJ Moore
wouldn't do it, but
or DK Metcalf? I know you hate DJ Moore.
Sneaky guy. I would start DK over DJ Moore.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, a little. Yeah, I would as well. I love DJ Moore.
Shocking. Surprised you're not just like DJ Moore over Rome Odunze. He's still the Bears' #1 receiver. Yada yada yada.
I talk about Rome. It's been a struggle here a little bit of late. He's getting the targets, but he's not producing with said targets. And this is a great matchup. And like, you want to just lock Rome in, but like he's not producing with these 7 to 8 targets he's getting. He's only getting like 4 for 30, 4 for 40.
He's just becoming a little. Is the problem?
Like, would you go Rome Odunze or George Pickens? Like, George Pickens has been great, but he's got a tough matchup with Philadelphia. You're not worried about it. You're still going George.
I'm not. No. Give me George, dude. I'm George all day in most matchups. I'm not going to lie. I like George a lot. I like CD a lot. I just like that offense cooking. I get they're going up against Philly, but George Pickens is so good, dude.
Rome Odunze or Michael Pittman?
Rome over Pittman.
Michael Wilson?
Michael Wilson over Rome.
I agree. What a world. The Michael Wilson line. He's the guy this week.
I mean, it's the volume, bro. Like, we seen it last week, and what his like, ability, his ceiling is. Obviously, he's not going to do the 185 again, but he's probably going to be around. Oh, hey, we 90, said that about Rico Dowdle a few weeks ago. He's like, he's not going to get to that's
it.
True.
He almost did.
That's true. That's true.
I agree. DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai. I'm not playing Monangai. I know he had 12 carries last week, but it was 25 yards. He did get into the touchdown. He did get an end zone. And that was big.
He's touchdown dependent.
Yep. Yeah. Swift to me, low end RB2. I think you put him in your lineup. I
would start Swift over any of the Steelers backs.
Agree. Would you start Smith over Emmanuel Wilson if Josh Jacobs is out? Tough matchup for Wilson. They're playing the Vikings.
Yeah, I would start Swift over Wilson.
Okay, I agree. I think my favorite Bears play this week is Colston Loveland. I think he gives you I thought about making him my play of the week at tight end, but I couldn't turn down the Hunter Henry versus Cincinnati. But I think Loveland, Pittsburgh, also pretty bad against tight ends. I think with Roma Dunze being a little touch and go, DJ Moore's been hurt. Luther Burns not fully involved in this offense. The run game's not, it's a split backfield now. I think this opens things up for Colston Loveland for have a big game. He's a big player, and that's where Pittsburgh gives up big plays. So I like Loveland this week.
I honestly just like a lot of the Bears. I like Loveland a lot. I really like Roma Doomsday this week. I like Swift a lot for starting. I even like Caleb Williams. We brought it up when we were doing the Joe Burrow line. He was kind of right there with Burrow, and I would start him in some scenarios over Burrow for sure.
I would say Caleb Williams is a fringe QB1 this week.
I agree. I think he's borderline top 10 to 14. I think that's going to be his range.
Yeah, like I would play him over Jordan Love. In Minnesota, Jordan Love playing Minnesota, I would roll with Caleb over him.
Yeah, I would take Caleb over Jordan Love this week for sure.
Okay. Who wins here? If the Bears win this game, they're going to be 9-3.
No, 8-3. Aren't they going to be 8-3?
No, I don't think
they're 7-3 right now. I think the Bears are 7-3.
Bears are way to not have their record. Google.
It's great podcasting, but I'm pretty confident they're 7-3.
Yeah, see, I'm pretty confident. Either way, I think they win this game. They're a lock for the playoffs.
The Bears have their bye week 5. The Bears,
they are
7-3, bro.
Yeah,
I know.
I got it. Okay,
the Bears are winning this game, though, regardless. I'm picking the Bears.
Regardless. Wow.
Well, no, regardless of our conversation we were just having about them being 8-3 and 7-3. That's what I'm talking about.
I think Pittsburgh's going to play them tough. Like, this feels like a game where Pittsburgh wins, even though they shouldn't win, sort of like the game against Indianapolis. But I think the Bears are just they're that luck team where everything's going their favor. Like they're winning these unwinnable games. They're winning all these one-score games where, like, next year that might translate to them being quote-unquote bad, sort of like Washington this year. So I am going to go Chicago. Things seem to be rolling in their favor right now.
I remember when Chicago played Baltimore a couple weeks ago, Vegas had Baltimore as a huge favorite, and I'm like, I don't understand that. Chicago's good, and Baltimore ended up blowing them out of the water. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I still think the Bears are a really good team, bro, and I think they're a really fine team. They're a really well-coached team, and they have a lot of weapons around a decent quarterback that can get the job done. And I think Rodgers being out there hurts this team. I'm not going to lie. I think they'd be a better spot with Mason Rudolph. So give me the Bears. It just makes a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota, the Vikings travel to Green Bay, take on division rival Green Bay Packers. Packers 6.5-point home favorites, over under 41.5. From the Minnesota side, you're playing Justin Jefferson. It's tough to do so because things are not great with Justin Jefferson and J.J. McCarthy. This is the first time I've ever seen Justin Jefferson, like, visibly frustrated with his quarterback. And he's had some bad ones. But you could, like, see it out
worries
there with
me.
him. Yeah, and we'll see. J.J. McCarthy, he had a quote where he said the cork's about to pop on 9 as
we'll see.
He's like he's turned into white Russell Wilson, and it's really giving me bad vibes. But I with just the way he talks and the alter ego thing, but the best part of J.J. McCarthy's game isn't necessarily any of his traits, it's his mental game. Like, nothing really phases him, which goes a long way because the quarterback is the most scrutinized position in sports, and he's just taking it. I do think this is going to work out. I just don't think it's going to be on Sunday in Green Bay. Tough conditions in Lambeau, really tough to pass on the Packers. So you're going to play Justin Jefferson, but, like, he's probably more a wide receiver 2 than he's a wide receiver 1. And Jordan Addison, I think you can bench him. Like, he's touchdown dependent. He only had 2 catches last week. Thankfully, 1 was a touchdown. He was much better with Carson Wentz than he has been with J.J. McCarthy.
What do you mean 2 catches last week? The week before, he only had 3. The week before that, he had 2. The week before that, he had 3. He's been absolute dog shit the last 4 weeks, bro, and it's so frustrating, bro. Like their
Yeah,
whole
like
offense to just be moving the ball so much better than it is because of Kevin O'Connell. And that's what I do
yeah.
not understand what is happening. Like you could plug in any quarterback off the street and Kevin O'Connell was producing a top 12 fantasy quarterback. Let's give
I
him the
think it's the fact
highest
that
drafted quarterback we could possibly give him. And it's all just not coming together, bro. And it's not.
I think it's the rookie lack of experience. Whereas like all these guys, O'Connell's brought in off the street have NFL experience. JJ McCarthy hasn't. So I think it's a learning curve, and they've changed his throwing motion. So I think that's kind of making things a little frustrating here. The line's been banged up, but I would play DK Metcalf over Jordan Addison for sure. I would play Christian Watson other side of the ball if he's out there. I'd play him over Jordan Addison as well.
Oh yeah,
Like
I'd play Watson over Addison for sure.
The only Viking I'm playing with confidence is Aaron Jones. He's been good. And he's been great against the Packers in the couple games he's had, revenge-wise against them. He had 22 opportunities last week. I think Aaron Jones, the Viking, I'm just locking in. Well, I'm locking in Justin Jefferson, but I'm worried about Justin Jefferson. I'm not worried about Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I agree. Aaron Jones is going to produce, and you're not expecting Aaron Jones to be, quote for quote, the RB1 on the whole week. Justin Jefferson, any given week, should be in contention to be wide receiver 1 every single week. And he has not done that all season. His highest finish is wide receiver 8, wide receiver 11. He's only been a wide receiver 12 those 2 times all year.
Were those games with Carson Wentz?
Yes, they were week 4 and week 5, so they were not JJ McCarthy. So
Carson Wentz, White Jameis out here.
It's very concerning what is happening in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson. His last 3 games have been 5 for 60, 4 for 37, 6 for 47. That's just not Justin Jefferson, dude. That's not what we expected from Justin Jefferson this year, especially with the hype of McCarthy coming in. So I don't expect a huge finish for JJ going forward, being Justin Jefferson, but you got to play him, bro. Like, you can't bench Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Green Bay side of the ball, Jordan Love, I think he falls outside the QB1 range, but if he's your quarterback, you're fine. You're fine rolling with him. He'll be okay for you. If Josh Jacobs is out there, is he in your lineup? Tough to run on Minnesota. Tough to bench Josh Jacobs, though.
I would flex Josh Jacobs. He would be outside of my RB2 territory. He wouldn't be a top 24 guy. He would probably be like 25, 26, right on the cusp. But at the end of the day, he's coming off an injury, a pretty roughed up knee injury versus a really good run defense. And he's got a capable backup behind him. Like, Emmanuel Wilson can get the job done. He's not great. He's not flashy or anything, but he can handle the workload. He can go in there and get 15 to 18 carries, get 60, 70 yards on the ground, and probably end up in the end zone again. So,
yeah, I expect Jacobs to miss this game because they play Thanksgiving.
I 100% agree.
And I think they'll want him against Detroit, whereas I think they can beat Minnesota without him. Yep.
I agree.
Do you mess around with
I am preparing not to have Josh Jacobs this week in a lot of my leagues.
Do you mess around with Christian Watson if he's out there?
You say Christian Watson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very pro Watson going forward in this kind of offense. I would probably lean Watson if he's out there over Dobbs just based off of high upside.
Dobbs.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Taking the Packers here. Close game, though. I do think Minnesota plays them close, but I think the Packers end up on top.
I'm taking Green Bay for sure.
Yeah. Jacksonville, the Jaguars travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Jags 3-point road favorites, over under set at 47.5. Jacksonville. Let's get Arizona out of the way. They're easier. Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah,
I think he's a QB1 in my eyes. He was my play of the week. I think you just keep streaming him. He's been good. Michael Wilson. He's got the drafted up hype train behind him. So
yeah, for sure.
We'll see how that works, but I love the play. The opportunities there. Trey McBride, tight end 1 every week. He's so good. Really, Arizona's question, I'm not messing around with either running backs. Just 'cause I don't think Michael Carter and Bam Knight are going to do anything for me. Like, I think as a whole they'll be good, but for fantasy separately, no good. No thank you. It's really
I agree.
Greg Dortch, full PPR. I'm in.
Yep.
Are you? Okay.
Full point PPR, yeah, 100%. He's going to go Last week, I think he had 6 catches.
And he got in the end zone.
I believe he had. Yeah, his stat line was 6 for 66 and a touchdown. So a little 666 stats.
Yeah.
You love to hear that. Full point PPR. He could easily just do that stat line again, if not better. He could have, because honestly, Wilson's not going to be
him or Wandale.
Wandale's the one on his team, so give me Wandale in full point PPR. But it's not like Wandale has the 8 catch potential, where Greg Dortch is like a 6 catch kind of guy. Okay. But they're so close, bro. They're the same guy.
Yeah, I think I would lean Dortch just because I think the Cardinals could score more points. I don't think they're going to, and I also don't think they're going to let Jackson Dart throw the ball 50 times, whereas I don't think Jacoby Brissett has a limit on how many times he's chucking the rock.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I do understand that.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Brian Thomas Jr., if he's out there, is he in your lineup?
Probably not. We've been going the last couple weeks without him, so I'm just cool rolling the dice one more time. Let him get fully healthy, even if he's out there.
He was limited today in practice.
Yeah, I'm cool risking him on my bench one more week.
Yeah. Parker Washington.
I'm playing him.
If Brian Thomas Jr. is not out there, I'm especially putting him in lineup. If BTJ is out there, I would drop him down a few pegs, but I still double flex Parker Washington's in play.
Yeah, I would play Parker Washington even if BTJ's out there, but if he's not out there, I'm really confident in Parker Washington.
ETN, keep rolling with him. He's been fine. Bashal Tootin had a career game last week. Do we see that trend continuing, or do we line that up with the fact that they were blowing out the Chargers and he got some more opportunity?
I think it was a little bit more of a late workload kind of situation, but ETN was also, he found the end zone twice last week, so they were kind of just like, okay, let's start giving the rock to more guys. Let's spread the system. But both guys are limited. Both guys have been hurt all week in practice, and none of them have practiced in full. So I'm cool with ETN if he's out there. He's obviously the RB1. He had like close to 20 carries, almost 80 yards on the ground, 2 tutties. I like that a lot. Tootin, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to take the chance because we've seen this. His first game when Tank Bigsby got traded, he was heavily involved in the offense, and everyone was like, oh, it's going to be him. It's going to be ETN. It's going to be a split system. And then he just the week after was not involved at all. So I'm cool letting it develop. And if he is involved and I have Bashal Tootin on my bench, well, I just stumbled into a guy that I can start next week. But this week, I'm not starting.
Yeah, Tootin should absolutely be rostered. If he's out there, I would go pick him up. But I don't think he's in play this week. It's funny. I'm way more excited to play any Arizona Cardinal over like any Jacksonville Jaguar, sans the running backs. I'd much rather play ETN and Tootin than Bam Knight and Michael Carter.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think the Jags win this game. Trevor Lawrence, he's the TJ Hawkinson of quarterbacks. He's not even worth talking about starting. But I do think Jacksonville beats Arizona.
Yeah, the Jags coming off that big win last week. I was impressed what they were able to do versus the Chargers. I don't think they're going to blow them out. I actually think this game is a lot closer than their game versus the Chargers last week. But
the line even says that 3 points.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close, but I'm taking the Jacksonville.
Yeah. Here we go. This one's exciting. The Cleveland Browns travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. The Raiders are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under, 35.5.
Nice. That's a score.
Shadur Sanders confirmed starting quarterback. He's going up against Geno Smith, who has been bad, and Las Vegas has been bad. Cleveland's defense has carried them this year. No matter who's been at quarterback, the defense has played good football. This game could be gross. This could be 7-6, and it would not surprise me that's the final score. Do you play any Cleveland Brown that's not Quinshon Judkins?
Good God. I was looking at the tight ends, but neither of them have really been like productive. Njoku's on the heels of a 1 for 7. Harold Fanning's on back-to-back games under 10 points in full point PPR. The receivers are garbage. Judkins is the only guy I'm playing in this game.
Start Jerry Jeudy in our home league. Ziffel.
I don't think you do. You don't. You really don't. There's
there's no one
1,000 guys
there's
on
no
free
one
agents.
better on free
No,
agents.
that's not true. We're not even going to get into that. I'm not about to go on to our free agents list and just start naming 30, 40 people better than Jerry Jeudy. He's bad. And especially with Shedeur Sanders, you can't like it might be to the point where I don't even know if you can start Judkins. They're not going to move the ball. You at most Judkins is a flex guy. Like he's not even in my top 24.
On the other side, is there a Raider you can start that's not Brock Bowers? Like, can you confidently start Ashton Genty? He played the Cowboys last week, which should have been the great matchup, and he was only at 6 carries. Like, I love Pete Carroll, but I think he's doing a poor job here. Why aren't we getting these young? Like, why is also love Tyler Lockett, incredible player. Why is he taking playing time from Jack Besh and Deontay Thornton? Get these young cats on the field. Why is Raheem Mostert out there more than he was at the beginning of the year? Let Genty take over. Like, really, the only veteran out there on the offense should be Geno Smith. Like, let these young dudes play. Like, for me, the Raiders, like it's hard to bench Genty, so you probably keep him in your lineup. Brock Bowers is an easy play, but nothing is really appealing in this game for fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, not to keep bringing up this chop week, but the running backs I have are JT, Chase Brown, Travion Henderson, and Genty. I'm not starting Genty out of those 4 guys. I can tell you that much. So, it's pretty much like Brock Bowers. Confidently, I'm starting. And I'm looking at Trey Tucker. I'm not going to lie. Like, Trey Tucker, you can play. He's fine. He can take the top off of a defense.
And the chance
all it takes is one play for Trey Tucker.
Yeah, he's that kind of player. Like, I think I would play Trey Tucker over any of the Cleveland guys, obviously. So I am in a heartbeat there. I think both defenses are probably your best fantasy options. Cleveland's defense, Vegas's defense. This could be a game where there's 20 total sacks.
Yeah, I totally agree, dude. I think the defenses are going to eat. I've picked up both defenses, to be honest, on waivers. So, yep.
I'm going to pick Cleveland just because I still like Shedeur a bit, and I think their defense is better. That's why I'm actually picking Cleveland. I think their defense is better than Vegas, so I am going to go with the Browns here on the road in a disgusting game.
I'm going with Vegas.
Fair. Absolutely fair. Philadelphia, the Eagles travel to Dallas, take on the Cowboys. Eagles are 3-point home favorites. Over-under set at 47.5. Eagles. Saquon Barkley in your lineup. It's been frustrating, and it might be frustrating. Like Dallas, they, for the first time this year, shut down the run. I mean, again, it was the Raiders, but Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, they're making a difference here early on. So this might be a game where the Eagles are going to have to pass the ball. So this might be the Eagles passing game opens up a little bit. We'll see. You never know with Philadelphia. But Jalen Hurts, keep him in. He's still a top 10 play. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, keep rolling with them. And I like Dallas Goedert as a streaming option at tight end.
Yeah, this is essentially the Eagles of like the offseason. You're starting Hurts, you're starting Barkley, you're starting Brown, you're starting Smith. And then the nice little factor here is you can start Dallas Goedert now. Like he's like going into the season, we really didn't look at Goedert. Like he's like the 16th, 17th best ranked guy for tight ends. He can get the job done for a streaming tight end. Yeah, it's not going to be a consistent thing, but versus a defense like Dallas, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up in the end zone.
Yeah, Dallas, you can score on them a bit. I know we thought the Raiders would be, a little bit more competitive there with them, and they were not.
I think Philly scores 30 plus
Philly's
points.
a different breed. Like, I think that was a great game for Dallas, a great, like, defensive-wise kind of boost them up. Good confidence boost going out there, whooping up on Vegas. But I do think the Eagles also put up close to 30 or over. And Dallas, a little bit tougher of a matchup for them. Philly's defense has been playing incredible football here of late. So do you temper your expectations with your Cowboys guys, Dak, Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Javonte Williams?
CD and Pickens, I really don't. My expectations are as high as ever with those guys going forward, to be honest. But Javonte and Ferguson, for sure, I'm not expecting huge weeks from those guys. But I'm still playing them. I'm not going to bench Javonte. I'm probably not going to bench Ferguson, to be honest, with the tight end market.
Agreed.
And Prescott, I'm still cool streaming Prescott if you need to play him. Like, he's still a capable quarterback in a game that he's going to need to produce a ton of numbers because Philly's going to drop a ton of points. I expect Prescott to have a couple touchdowns, just trying to keep
Would
up.
you play Dak or Jacoby Brissett?
I think Dak's got a little bit safer
You're trusting him. Yeah, it's crazy that we're putting so much trust in Jacoby Brissett of late.
That's what I mean. Like, Brissett could easily go out there and shit the bed.
When does he pumpkin?
And then in a proxy, exactly. Like, if he shits the bed in the proxy, then Michael Wilson's dog shit this week as well. So, like, I know Dak Prescott's going to go out there and he might throw 2 or 3 interceptions just trying to keep up. It might be a very Jameis Winston game for Dak, but he's going to put up a couple touchdowns because they're going to have to keep up.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough to bench your Cowboys against the matchup here, and I'm not. I'm still rolling confidently in George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, especially Jake Ferguson. I'm still going to keep him in my lineup because it is tough to find a good, reliable tight end, and Ferguson's that he's good for a touchdown, which is something I thought we'd never say because that's something he's never done. Javonte, like the running backs on both sides. Javonte and Saquon, I'm kind of lowering how I feel about them. But I'm still rolling. I think Javonte is probably a low-end RB2, high-end flex guy, and Barkley's probably a mid-RB2, low-end RB1 this year, or this week.
I honestly think Barkley is going to have a monster week this week. I think he's going to kill it this week. Last week he had like 26, 27 carries. Like, they were force-feeding this guy the ball. Back-to-back games over 20 carries.
If that's the case,
I think he takes 2 of them to the
You got to worry. I would worry about the Eagles passing game if Barkley's going to do that.
I agree, but it's still Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and Smith. Smith just needs 1 or 2 catches to take one to the house. AJ Brown's gonna. I mean, he's not going to, but he could easily still get 7, 8 catches, 50, 60 yards, maybe a touchdown. And Dallas Goedert's not going to be a focal point. Like, if Dallas Goedert produces, it's because he scored a touchdown. That's the only way Dallas Goedert's going to be involved. I just think Barkley has multiple runs over 25 yards. Like, I think Barkley has multiple big runs in this game.
He has not done that all year, so we'll see.
I get it. I think this is the game.
I am less in on that. Like, I have Saquon Barkley in my guillotine league. I'm not starting him.
Oh, he's your Justin Jefferson. Let's go.
I have Gibbs, Bijan, and McCaffrey. So
yeah, I get it.
I'm also not starting Jonathan Taylor.
Whoa, that's something.
Hey, trying to win, so I'm playing the better matchup, guys. I might go Taylor over Gibbs come Sunday, but right now, that's the line of it. I want to pick Dallas, but the Eagles are wearing the Kelly Greens on the road. They haven't lost since they brought him back. I am going to pick the Eagles, though. I'm not confident in that. Not at all.
Well, I'm picking Philly. I think they're going to score over 30. I think Dallas has a decent game. I think they're going to put up 21, 24 points. But I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Philly's offense or defense.
So you think Eagles cover easily the 3-point spread?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Atlanta, the Falcons travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Saints, 2.5-point home favorites. Over under at 40
Crazy.
No Drake London. No Michael Penix. You play Bijan.
Yep.
Are you taking a shot on Darnell Mooney or Kyle Pitts?
I'm taking a shot on Darnell Mooney in 2 flex leagues. I think that's a fine spot. He could be played
Mooney
in
or DK Metcalf?
DK. Give me Metcalf. It's not
Mooney
it's
or
not there
Jordan
yet. Addison, not there yet.
All right. So you hold Mooney in like the Alec Pierce, Xavier Worthy boat.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Even like the Giants receiver, kind of like the Wandale Isaiah
Parker
Hodge,
Washington?
Like, Parker Washington, for sure. Kyle Pitts, though, I'm cool playing Kyle Pitts. I would play Kyle Pitts over Darnell Mooney. I think Kyle Pitts actually eats this week.
Yeah, if I had to play one of them, I would lean Pitts. I like that. Algier?
Yeah.
He's still messing around with him. He's only out there 30% of the time, but he keeps getting touchdowns.
Hey, look, if someone's starting Kyle Monungai out there, you could start Tyler Algier. Like, it would be fine. They're almost the same kind of guy. They're super touchdown dependent. If you need a guy that's going to go out there and get 7 points for sure, and then, hey, maybe he gets a touchdown, yeah, Tyler Algier could probably do that.
Saints side of the ball, Chris Olave, lock him in your lineup. I think he's a wide receiver 2. Juwan Johnson, keep going with him. I think he's a tight end 1. And I'm
I
in
agree.
on Alvin Kamara, man. I think this is the week that Alvin Kamara, he's RB28 in full PPR. I think he has a top 15 finish. I think he's going to be a RB1. I think he can squeeze into the RB1 range, low end RB1. I think this is the bounce back week for Alvin Kamara, and I think the Saints win. I do. I believe in Tyler.
He's coming off the heels. He's coming off the heels of a really good game, dude. 22 carries, 83 yards, 3 targets, 3 catches, 32 yards. Like, that's a really Kamara game. And now he's got a really good matchup versus a team. Like, the Saints need him out there, dude. The Saints need Alvin Kamara as of like old Alvin Kamara. And I think that's a legitimate possibility. So it's definitely not out of the possibility, dude. Full point PPR, Kamara could end up eating, dude, for sure.
Yeah. Coming off the bye is really what's like selling me here on the Kamara getting a week off to kind of heal his ailing body. And Tyler Shuck looked good against Carolina last time he played football. So if Shuck continues to get better, theoretically Alvin Kamara then gets a boost up as well. And I believe in the talent of Tyler Shuck. So I like the Saints options this week in Kamara, Johnson, and Olave. And I think the Saints win this game.
I have the Saints marked off too, dude. Yeah, give me the Saints. And I agree. I give Olave, I'm for sure starting. Johnson, I'm starting. Kamara, I'm cool. Like RB2 flex territory for sure. Like I'm fine with that.
This is one of the first times this year you can be confident in Alvin Kamara in your lineup.
I agree.
Here we go. Here's a good one. Sunday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to LA to take on the Rams. Rams 6.5 point home favorites, over under set at 49.5. Everyone's got a little stomach bug in Tampa Bay, but they're going to be out there. Except Bucky Irving. He continues to be limited in practice.
Constantly.
Bucky Irving not playing against the Rams.
Oh, okay.
So, well, that was 4 hours ago, but then this one just said he was limited Thursday, 3 hours ago. I don't expect him out there regardless. I think, again, this is going to be Rachaad White and Sean Tucker, but the Rams defense is one of the best, if not the best, at stopping the run. So playing them is a little bit trickier than it was against Buffalo.
I agree. I'm not thrilled on either one. I think I would chase Tucker off the huge performance he had last week. I think he's going to get the ball more. But in full point PPR, at the end of the day, if you told me White had more points, I wouldn't be shocked because it's the Rams defense. If Tucker goes out there and goes for 19 for 42 and isn't involved in the pass game, but Rachaad White's got 7 catches for 10 yards because, God forbid, we got to get this guy the ball.
Yeah. Rachaad White gives you a good floor in full PPR where if you had to put him in your lineup, it's fine. Like, with Bucky Irving not playing, I will likely slide Rachaad White into my lineup and take Jerry Jeudy out of it now. I was waiting for the Bucky news to put Rachaad White back into my lineup.
Fair enough.
But I'm playing my Bucks receivers. I'm playing Emeka Ibuka. I'm still riding with him. I still think I double flex league. I think Tej Johnson's still in play off the bad week, and then
even
Baker
with
Mayfield,
even with Godwin back.
Yeah, I think Godwin. It's a game or two to get him back into kind of things. But I think Tej Johnson. This could be another situation where the Bucks are playing from behind. They might have to take a shot, and I think if they're going to huck it, chuck it, I think that benefits Tej Johnson. Like you said, with Trey Tucker, it only takes one.
I agree. I kind of think I'm holding Chris Godwin and Tez in the same boat. Like it wouldn't shock me if Godwin goes out there and has 6 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. Just really try to get him involved because he's already played this year and he came back just a little bit too early because that's what Chris Godwin does. So now he's had this time to really sit back and relax and become full into practice. So I like Tez, I like Chris Godwin in like double flex spots, but other than that, I wouldn't look their way. But I love Ibuka for sure.
Yeah, I think Ibuka's the one I'm locked in completely, no matter what's going on there. Baker Mayfield, I'm
I
still
would
rolling with him as well.
I would like a full practice tomorrow from Ibuka. That would really solidify my confidence. He's been limited all week, so
He's sick,
going
though.
to play. No, I get it. He's going to play, but I want a full practice at the end of the day. Like, let me know that you're not dying on the sideline, bro.
Yeah, they said they went to a bad Japanese steakhouse or something, all of them. LA, they're always easy. Keep rolling with Matt Stafford. Josh Allen just put 6 touchdowns up on the Tampa Bay Bucks, so Matt Stafford could be in your lineup. Keep rolling with him. Kyron Williams, Bucks have been struggling. Off and on. Yep. And then Puka, Devontae Adams. Is Adams back? He's good. He's healthy. I know he's been banged up.
Yes, Adams was. He's not even on the injury report anymore.
Full practice.
I don't think.
Yeah, he's good. He's off the injury report. So lock in. Do you mess around with Terrence Ferguson? Tyler Higbee went on IR. So you think Ferguson?
I would pay attention to how often Ferguson is used, because they also have what is his name? Colby Parkinson. So they like to involve that guy as well. He's usually Higbee's backup. But Ferguson was a rookie last year or this year, coming out of Oregon, second round pick. They traded up and get him. He was the 3rd tight end picked in the last year's class, I believe.
I think he was a top 50 pick.
He was a top 50 pick.
Yeah.
Like, if he's involved, I love the talent, but I need to see his involvement. But every other Ram, I'm starting. Puka, Adams, Kyron, Matt Stafford, for sure. Rams
a
are
lot
so
of
easy,
mouths to confidently put Terrence Ferguson in right off the bat. I agree.
for sure.
But I would monitor how much uses he does get here, taking over potentially for Tyler Higbee. I am going to go with the Rams.
I agree. I'm also picking the Rams.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they do have like a letdown game after a tough game against Seattle last week. But I think the Rams are I think they're actually now the best team in football after beating Seattle. So I think they beat Tampa. And then if Tampa Bay loses, Monday night has big implications as the Carolina Panthers travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Niners are 7-point home favorites, over-unders at 49.5. But if Tampa Bay would lose that game and Carolina beats San Francisco, the Carolina Panthers are in first place.
It's been a hot minute since people could say that, dude.
Yeah.
So pretty big time stipulations here for Carolina. If Tampa Bay drops, they could easily drop the ball
Carolina
Sunday night,
out
bro.
Of the way because they're easy. Rico Dowdle, keep running. He's been so good.
So good, bro.
And then you might have been right on Tedero McMillan being an alpha number 1 wide receiver. Like I said, I thought he was a high-end like wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1. Didn't think he was an alpha. He might be. He might just be that. And you just keep rolling. I think last week was that coming of age showing for him against Atlanta. So keep Tedero McMillan locked in. I think he's got wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2 fantasy upside this week.
I agree, dude. McMillan is so good, dude. He was my favorite offensive weapon in the draft, bar none. I like Genti, I get, but he was right there with Genti. He's my 3rd favorite prospect in the draft, bro. Like, he's that guy. He is going to be one of the best receivers in football come the next 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I still had him as a top 10 prospect, but I just
it
was a little lower as like his ceiling as a wide receiver than you were. But right now I'm looking dead wrong on that, and I'm okay with that. But
sure.
you're not going to chase Bryce Young's 400-yard game against the Niners.
No.
Okay, so it's just Tedero McMillan, Rico Dowdle. Move on for Carolina. San Fran. Christian McCaffrey, obviously. George Kittle, obviously. Brock Purdy, where do you stand with him? He looked good last week. I think he's a good play. I would play him. I think he's my Joe Burrow line. I think I would lean Purdy over Burrow. But that's close. Like, I would play Purdy over Caleb Williams as well.
I think I would lean Williams over Purdy, Burrow over Purdy. But then Burrow or Purdy right there over like Darnold, Danny Jones, Jordan Love, guys like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would play Purdy over Love, and like I would hold him in the same boat as like Jared Goff. I think they're going to be low end QB1s.
I would play Purdy over. Yeah, I'd play Purdy over Goff, I think.
Yeah. Do you start any of the Niners receivers? Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings?
Oh, man, I would say I would like to start Pearsall, but he only saw 2 targets, 1 catch. But I get it was his first game back, and he was out there for 75% of snaps. So he was out there a decent amount of snaps. I'm cool with Jennings in like a 2 flex spot, maybe even Pearsall in a 2 flex spot going forward.
Yeah, a little tough for me to go with him this week. I want to see it. Like I said that about Michael Wilson last week. I want to see it before I can put him in my lineup, and obviously we saw it, and he's in. I just think there's better streaming options and rolling right away with like Pearsall and like Parker Washington, Rashid Shaheed, Mac Hollins, or Kayshon Boutte. I think they're all guys I'm putting in over those 2 right now. Like I think the passing game, it could just be another week of George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey to me. That's how I think the Niners are going to roll. And like I said, I need to see it from Pearsall especially Pearsall, and Jenny. Like I think they're really low floor guys that I'm not getting a lot of upside right now from them.
Yeah, it kind of depends on if Carolina can like show up. It depends on what version of Carolina we get.
Never
to
know
be
what
honest.
Panthers team we're getting.
Because if the Panthers hang in and this game's close, Jennings has scored a touchdown in 2 of 3 weeks. And even last week, he was still 4 for 54. So that's a decent fantasy game. So the last 3 weeks, he's been kind of producing. So I would start Jennings over Pearsall. But like I said, I would start both these guys in a 2 flex spot for sure.
Yeah. Who wins here? San Fran or Carolina? Primetime game
going
for
with
the Panthers.
I'm going with San
agree.
Fran just off the back of like they got Purdy, they got McCaffrey and Kittle. When all 3 of those guys are on the field, it kind of just rolls a little bit smoother. So give me San Fran.
They're potentially getting healthy at the right time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. There we go. That's it. Week 12. Drafted a podcast.
Yeah,
throw out in the comments.
It's Monday night. That's true.
Yeah.
I thought there was another game.
Yeah, primetime Panthers. Throw in the comments your plays of the week. If you disagree with ours or guys that you're really confident in, your confidence stars, throw them in the comments. Next week, just 1 episode with Thanksgiving coming around. We're going to do the Week 13 rundown episode on Tuesday, and that'll be the episode for the whole week. And then we'll see you guys the following week as we get off the holiday stuff, and we'll start introducing a little more prospect talk in here and there. Anything else?
I don't think so, dude. Just good luck, everyone. Week 12. We're just on the cusp of playoffs, dude. Couple more weeks, and
there's like 2 or 3 more weeks.
Right there.
Check if you're
on the horizon.
Cusp, check your opponents who you're competing with that final spot for. See who they're playing. See what you got to do. If your matchups are easier. I know in our home league, I'm in a gauntlet. I'm taking on like the top two of the top teams, and then you, who's one of the top scoring teams. Just haven't had luck, and I'm in a gauntlet to fight for that last playoff spot. But we'll see. But yeah, check out your opponent's schedule, see if like they have tough matchups, and kind of base, and then keep players away from your opponent. Like if you have Brock Purdy as your second quarterback, and your team you're competing with needs a quarterback, don't drop him if you need, and then make them start Trevor Lawrence.
What a shot at Trevor Lawrence. That guy did not deserve any of that. I get he's been bad, but you're just like, you want to bet. I do. That's only because I'm not even getting into that. We don't need to talk about Trevor Lawrence.
Drafted Up podcast. If you haven't and you got this far, subscribe to the show, like the show, rate the show, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Good luck this week. Adios.
Bye.